Today's masterclass, we are going to talk about the DevOps engineering, okay, trends, predictions, and the career transitions. First of all, we need to understand what is DevOps engineering and what are the benefits. What is the, in terms of the career perspective, what are the benefits we are going to get out of that, right? So first, let's understand what is DevOps engineering. What is DevOps? If you would have heard about the word DevOps, right? So DevOps is a software development approach which involves continuous development, continuous testing, continuous integration, continuous deployment, monitoring of the software throughout the development lifecycle. Throughout the development lifecycle. So if you say here, DevOps is a culture. It's a culture to follow, or it's a mindset and approach towards the automation. How you want to automate your problem, how you want to solve your problem, right? So the day, whatever things, if you think about like the manual workaround, whatever you are doing every day, the tedious task, and how you want to automate that task so that whatever the tedious work you are doing every day, which consumes more human resources, manpower, which consumes more time, right? How we can reduce those things, how we can save money, right? So those things, it's actually comes in your mindset. You have to think how you can make your problems, how you can solve your problems by making the things into automations, right? So all these things you have to understand. So what I can say again, it's a combination of tool sets. It's not a single tool set. Few people say like DevOps is a tool. It's not a tool. It's not a technology. It's not a language, right? It's a combination of the culture, it's a mindset. You can say it's a group of tool sets. So various tools being used to perform and streamline the automation process. With a single tool set, with a single tool, it is not achievable. We cannot achieve the DevOps concept. Okay. So let's think about the more. It's a collaboration between development and operations. The word dev comes from the development and ops comes from the operations. So it's called DevOps. It's a collaboration between the development and operations teams. So what is DevOps used for? We know what is DevOps. Let's see what is DevOps used for. That is most important, guys. Whenever you are going to learn something or whenever you are going to do something, first you need to understand what is the use of it, why you want to learn it, and after learning, what benefit you will get out of that. That is most crucial for everyone to understand the things. It's not only in the study, it's not only in the learning, in your day-to-day life also. If you're going to get something, try to understand first what is that, what benefit you will get out of from that, and why you need this, and how, if you got that answer, then how you have to implement it. What is that, why you need this, and how you have to implement this. If you understand these three things, then it will be easy for you to implement whatever you are learning or whatever things you are going to do in your life, in your career, right? So let's understand what is DevOps used for. So DevOps aims to increase the ability to deliver the product at a faster rate by reducing inefficiencies, improving customer satisfaction, improving service, as well as improving reliability. So when you talk about the customer satisfaction, right, and faster delivery. So guys, if you would have some ideas on the software industry, IT industry, whenever we deliver something to our customer, we would have a deadline fixed, right? Based on the customer requirement, we have to fix a deadline. Within that deadline, we have to deliver the product. We have to deliver the applications to the customer. It's not that we have delivered the product only. We have to make sure that product what we are going to deliver is accurate. There is no bug, no things, and it's up to the point, up to the requirement. Whatever the requirement they have given us, we have delivered within the stipulated time, whatever the client has given us. Okay, so all these things you have to keep in your mind. Again, let's see what more it gives. It's predictability. Like during new releases, DevOps reduce the risk of failure. So whenever we do some new releases for any kind of applications, any kind of products, right? There could be chance of a failure. It could be the code failure. It could be environment failure, right? It could be anything which caused a failure, right? But with DevOps, we can mitigate that problem. We can mitigate that risk, right? It just reduces that risk. We'll see in details in our classroom. I'll show you what are the set of tools we can use to mitigate this problem. So the predictability during new releases, DevOps reduce the risk of failure. Next is reproducibility. It allows you to restore previously released versions at any time. What does that mean? It allows you to restore the previously released versions. In case, suppose you are, if you are using one applications which has upgraded to a newer version, and you found like there is some applications issue, there is some bug, and you have to get back to the previous versions. How do you do that? Right? Either you have to take would have taken a backup, or you would have go to the previous versions and implement it, deploy it. So while doing it manually, it will take lots of time, lots of hiccups will be there, right? Even lots of chances of again manual human errors, right? So using DevOps, we can use reproducibility. We can reproduce the same things immediately within a certain period of time without any errors. Okay. So what else we can get it? Maintainability. So maintainability, DevOps offers seamless recovery during any new release, crash, and disabling the current system. So it also provides the seamless recovery of any kind of new crashes or anything. Time to market. So it effortlessly reduces the software delivery time up to 50%. Great quality. Obviously, if we reduces the time and it reduces the manual human efforts, obviously we get sufficient time to provide a greater quality of the product to the customer. So teams can easily improve the application development quality as DevOps includes infrastructure issues, right? Whatever the infrastructure issues also, it gets handles in that way that we can deliver a good quality of the product. Resiliency. So the operational state of the software system is more stable, secure, and changes are auditable. That means whatever the system changes we are going to do, whatever the things, the product upgradations, new applications, new features to be added, all things are auditable. We have very good, strong monitoring tools available, monitoring systems available, which we can monitor, track, do all kind of things, whatever is required for the product to be tracked or to be auditable. Okay, so it provides resiliency. Again, cost efficiency. Software development process can be cost effective using DevOps. How? Okay, and allows it companies to save money and increase profit. Okay, so how it will be cost efficient? When we are going to use tools, it will reduce our work by 50%. Then it reduces the human errors. It reduces the bugs. It reduces everything, and it will make faster delivery of our products, right? So it will be, what will happen? It will be give more value to us. So it will be cost efficient. So it will increase our profits by saving money. Okay. So I will see in details how it could be used in our complete entire DevOps class. We'll see how this can be achieved. Okay. Now, let's see who is a DevOps engineer. You'll be thinking, right, whatever we learned now, we're thinking, who's a DevOps engineer, right? A DevOps engineer, a person who has strong collaboration skills and is willing to adapt to new technologies, methodologies in order to support the implementation of DevOps practices in an organization. Anyone who are into development, who are into production supports, who are into anything in testing or whatever, you can be easily become a DevOps engineer if you have that skills of making the collaboration skills between the teams and willing to adopt new technologies, new methodologies, right? How you can make it. You have to first strong your mindset, right? That is the most important. If you think about the ancient days, people used to use different kind of techniques to travel from one source to destination. They use blood carts, they used to cycle, they use next scooters, bikes, all these things came. How? They want to solve the problem they were facing while communicating from one location to another locations. That's the mindset, how you want to improve it, right? So everything you can apply in your role also, right? Whatever job you're doing, you can apply all this, right? So from a technical perspective, if you think about a DevOps engineer should have a good understanding of systems, automation tools, continuous integration tool, version control system, monitoring, observability tool, networking, project management software. The role of DevOps engineer involves designing, developing continuous integrations and continuous delivery pipeline. So we think all the DevOps engineer has to do all these things. It's not like that. It's kind of like you have to, once you go and jump into that, guys, you'll really feel that you definitely have joined DevOps in different ways that you can make your career as a king. You are going to learn and you're going to get everything, whatever you have to, and you were like you have set up your goals, right? You would have set up your goals like you want to become something, right? So you can easily get those things once you jump into the DevOps engineering and start working on multiple tools, multiple methodologies, multiple ways to automate the stuffs. You'll get to learn lots of things. So, as you know, learning is the only one thing which can make you rich in your thinking or in your brain. If you do all the times learning, you'll be rich in your brain will get so rich that you can easily accept anything and you can easily all circumstances you can easily find it out and modify it, right? So next one is we'll see about there are top 7 DevOps trends. We'll see what are the trends currently going in the market, right? So what happened? If we go the trends, the first one is come DevSecOps. We heard about DevOps. Then what is DevSecOps? It's a development, security, and operations, like DevOps security. So when you talk about DevOps, definitely whatever the applications, whatever the product you are using or developing or delivering to the client, security is the most important thing to be applied, right? With security being one of the most significant concerns in the digital age, enterprises have integrated DevSecOps lifecycle to enhance it further. It has been used to streamlining governance and observability as well. So the security will come to learn more on this when we come into the DevOps engineering, and we'll see how are the things and how we can implement the security in our DevOps things, right? So let's see the next one is the serverless computing. In our previous days or current days also, most of the people, most of the companies, we are actually surrounded by the servers, right? Everything we put, all the applications, all we are putting the servers around us, right? Without server, it's kind of we cannot work. But now in DevOps or cloud computing, we have this serverless computing technique. What it is a serverless computing is a way to develop and run services and applications without taking servers into consideration. We don't have to need a server, right? Serverless computing. The serverless computing is faster than the servers. The servers, what is a server? It's kind of a virtual machine, as kind of hardware, a computer, where you can put all your compute powers, resources, storage, and all this, and you can make it as a server, right? Now, these things we don't need it. We can make it as a serverless computing. So these applications do not need any managing servers because they're built that way from the very developmental stage of the app. Whatever application we are making, we can keep it serverless. We'll see also in our journey how we can make those things in the serverless, how we can put it, right? When we learn about the cloud and DevOps, we'll see how we can make these things in the serverless. Next one is microservices architecture. It has a good demand in the huge demand in the market, current IT market. Microservice architecture, often referred to as microservices, is currently being extensively used in the IT sector. It's extensively used in the IT market. Customized to accommodate the latest DevOps market trends, it has successfully broken down the age-old mammoth-sized applications into more manageable pieces that are smaller. What we are using before, the heavy sized of the applications, now it has been broken into small pieces, small chunk, and we are using multiple into that's called as microservices. And we'll learn in this how we can achieve this thing. Isn't it quite interesting, right? Microservices, we're going to learn how we can put all these applications into the microservices and all, right? All these things we're learning. Now, next is AI Ops, artificial intelligence operations. ML Ops and AI Ops are two of the most renowned trending DevOps tools. AI Ops helps automate the IT processes and operations, whereas ML Ops strengthens the development systems of machine learning. Okay, we'll see how the AI Ops and ML Ops also be opted in DevOps and can be collaborated. We can achieve the things in the DevOps, right? Next, the low-code applications. Many robust enterprises have adopted low-code DevOps approaches. What is this low-code DevOps, right? Which has been quite beneficial for teams. Low-code platforms helps companies and enterprises build applications without any expert coding knowledge. This helps non-technical professionals to also have a hand in developing software via a visual interface that entirely manages the app development process. Nowadays, the market is actually the trends has gone to the framework, right? All the development tools or who are into the development background, they might be using different kind of frameworks, right? Nowadays, people are using the frameworks. Even if you think in the DevOps, there are tools which you have to just drag and drop and design your architecture. And in the backend, the codes will be generated automatically, right? You don't have to bother about them. That's why it says a non-technical guy also can do a good software, can build a software applications, right? So we don't have to necessarily be a master in the coding, right? So low code applications. The next one is GitOps. That is for, we could say, like GitOps happens to be one of the best DevOps new trends that have been added in the DevOps workflow. It helps control, monitor, and automate the infrastructure by the source code management and how the operations being collaborated together. The best collaboration platform we have like GitHub, right? Now, the Kubernetes. That's the most highly demanded tool, you could say, an orchestration platform. container orchestration platform. This is actually is called as Kubernetes, often abbreviated as K8 Kubernetes, K8S. Okay, K8S. If there is a spelling mistake, I'm sorry for that. Is an extensible and portable open source platform that helps in managing containerized services and workload. We'll see how the applications are getting containerized. We are going to learn this Kubernetes in this course also, right? And we'll see how those microservices, so I was talking about that, how we'll achieve these microservices using this Kubernetes, how we'll containerize the applications, and how we manage this by using this Kubernetes orchestration. Okay. The next one is the future of DevOps. So we learned what is the current trends is going on. Now let's see what is the predictions. What is the future of the DevOps? The future of the DevOps, we are going to see here the adoption of microservices and containers, which I was just talking about the trends is going on, right? So there are many software enterprises that are incorporating microservice infrastructure to come up with enterprise solutions independently over the several services, right? Containerization is also rising in popularity because it is designed to run processes one at a time with the least amount of deployment, making it the ideal deployment model. So adoption of the microservices and container. The next one is culture and the top prerequisites, right? Culture is an integral element in DevOps. So as a key differentiator, both process and culture are the prime parts of becoming successful in one's DevOps journey. That's why in the very beginning, I just told you, right? DevOps is not nothing but a culture to follow, right? Culture to follow. In the DevOps journey, you have to follow the culture of DevOps. The culture encourages the organization to break free from the rigid structure, like the monolithic architecture or the structure, it integrates across every organization area and group to work in the tandem and archiving an optimum business outcome. So you have to adopt this culture to make your SDLC, like software development lifecycle, and the delivery faster, right? The next one is the notion of shifting left. What is this? The DevOps methodology encourages the notion of shifting left, right? And most of the DevOps tools and solutions are automated throughout to make traceability easier. What it says, traditionally performed activities during the later stages of the development and deployment processes are now resorting to shifting to the left of the pipeline. The main goal is to identify issues at an early stage along with the enhancing performance as well as disaster recovery testing. So when you talk about the main goal is to identify the issues at an earlier stage, right? If you think about, if you go beyond a few decades, what do you see there in the SDLC? We'd have the very old model, like the waterfall model we used to follow, right? Top, it will be a requirement, then the analysis, gathering for analysis, and then it will come to the designing part, it will come up the coding, testing, quality checks, and all the productions, right? What happens if it fails in between every stages? What happens? It has to go, if there is some changes in the designing, it has to again go to the very beginning, and then they have to modify it. Again, it has to come across all the stages. It takes lots of time to fix a simple issue. But in this approach, right, if we use this one, any issues we find, it will be prior to that stage, we'll find out the issues and it will be immediately get fixed and continuously can be integrated and built. Like the continuous building, continuous releases, and all these things happens, right? Continuous integration, continuous delivery, and continuous development. What I was talking about in the first, what is DevOps, right? That way where we get this kind of terms and everything in detail with complete flow, project flow, we'll discuss about the DevOps, how it works, and what are the terms we are just hearing in this masterclass everything we're going to learn in the class in detail with various examples. Okay. Now, the next we are going to see about is the downtime. There are many benefits when it comes to adopting the DevOps framework in the workforce. So for starters, it enables enterprises to enhance when shifting the DevOps practices. So the downtimes, what's this word? I'm not going to read all this. I'll just explain you the term. The downtime. The downtime itself, meaning itself, it says the downtime of the applications, or downtime of something which is not running or down, right? The server is down or something. When it happens, when in general, if you do a deployment, if you follow the traditional way of deployment, what happens? We have to make our application, make our system to be down for some particular time. For the deployment windows, for the deployment windows frame, we have to make our particular systems to be offline or down so that we can do the deployment and then make the systems online so that all the deployment goes smooth. This is how it works previously. But now in DevOps, we are going to watch there will be minimize the downtime. You'll be seeing, like, you guys are very familiar with the Facebook, Netflix, and even if you do the e-commerce sites, Amazon or Flipkart or wherever, what you see there, you never face any downtime, right? So how they upgrade their applications, how they upgrade their websites, e-commerce applications and all they are using with the DevOps, right? All the DevOps tools or whatever mindsets, whatever they have, they're setting it off and they're doing with the zero downtime. So all the deployments happens smooth. Everything will see how it can be achieved using Kubernetes, using containers, using Docker, and lots of DevOps tools. Okay. Now, all these things we are going to learn. What are the things rest are there? It's the collaboration of big data and DevOps. So DevOps and big data together have taken a step forward towards predictive analysis, and this results in DevOps becoming one of the most reliable tools. So, okay, guys, don't worry about that. And at the end of this class, I have a question and answer. So you can ask questions if you have any in your mind. Okay, let me finish this completely, then we'll have a question and answer questions. So what is the DevOps career? What is the career transition in DevOps? If you think about this, the DevOps field is currently a highly sought after DevOps adoption in IT industry due to its potential for high salaries and career growth. In current days, almost all companies, I could say every companies adopting the DevOps culture, and all of them are migrating their infrastructure into cloud. That's the reason there is a huge requirement of DevOps engineers in the IT market. Currently, most of the companies, they're not going to get their own infrastructure. They're not going to get their own data center. Everyone are going to migrate their servers, everything to the cloud infrastructure. Even if you think about a small scale or startup company, they are not going to set up their own infrastructure. They're going to do the setups, everything in the cloud, right? That's why there is a huge demand in the market. And you will see in this course, everything will teach you from the very basic to the advanced level. So that what you can do, you can get all those things, whatever you have in your mind, and you can achieve in this course. Okay. Now, if you see here, what are the type of job roles we'll do after learning this course? It could be DevOps architect, if you have good experience on previous experience. You could be a DevOps release manager. You could be a DevOps security engineer. Could be DevOps test engineer, DevOps engineer, right? Lots of works are there. And every role has different responsibility. We'll learn in details in our upcoming classes. Okay. So let's see what are the salaries we are getting. I have just get some things here. if you see here, people are giving 25 to 32 or 35 lakhs. This is one of the things I got it from the Naukri sites. Okay, and if you see here, this company is providing 15 to 30 lakhs, right, for this DevOps engineer. And if you see here, one Adecco Group who is providing 25 to 40 lakhs per annum salary, right? For 3 to 8 years of experience, it provides 25 to 40 lakhs per annum salary. So, guys, there are a huge requirement, and you'll not believe this trend will be there at least for next 10 to 15 years in the market. Next 10 to 15 years in the market. Why I'm telling all this? Because the DevOps mindset has not been adopted earlier by most of the companies. They are now adopting it. And it's not the things that overnight it will be done, right? It will take lots of time, lots of resources to make their culture, their infrastructure stable. For that, they need huge number of DevOps engineers. Even if you see in the US market, there are currently recessions are there. Recessions are coming, right? But still, in India market, or in even other markets also, there are huge requirement for the cloud engineers, requirement for the DevOps engineers, right? Still, if you see here, and that's why, guys, all these things, whatever you're going to learn, it will be definitely will have a good impact, a big impact, a huge impact in your career growth. Not only you will get the knowledge, but also you will get a path, things which could help you to go beyond the goal you have set up. Okay, so these are the things we are going to get from this class. And if you understand properly, just enroll now for a great career. We are going to shortly start the course from the 1st of April next month. And you can just enroll this after this masterclass or that one. And we can meet up in this and we can elaborate everything in detail. So guys, we have the question and answer sections. If you have any questions or anything, you can feel to ask me the questions and I will try to answer your questions.
Hi, I am Mr. So I had a question.
Yeah, please go ahead.
With like so many cloud technologies coming up, like we have many cloud service providers like AWS, Microsoft, GCP, and IBM. So like sometimes we are in a dilemma which one to go for. So like how can we start focusing on one platform and like which one should we learn and then which one will be more beneficial for us? And
Yes.
in dev, like we have to learn everything from the scratch, like from DevOps, including pipeline, Kubernetes, and all the tools and technologies which you have talked about. So that's my question.
Yeah. So let me first finish about the cloud things. So whenever we're going to learn something, right? If you know, like anything, if you do in your life, right? If you know the basics, right? If you know the basics, how you can achieve that? What is that? Okay, the root. Like in the cloud market, there are hundreds of cloud service providers. There are hundreds of service providers, and we are not going to learn everything, right? In the cloud market, there are 3 which are in the highly demandable in the market, and that's a market leading. You could say AWS, Azure, and Google Cloud. So all these 3 are highly demanded and highly adopted by most of the companies and the customers and the employees. But AWS is the number 1 in the current market. If you do the survey in the current market, we'll talk all these things in details, why it is in the current market in the number 1 order. So your question is, do you need to learn everything? It's not required at all, right? So if you know the things of the cloud, the services, how the cloud services are working, right? So if you think, if you are using definitely a smartphone, right? Your smartphone, you are using, suppose, any brand you will be using, any either Android phone or iPhone or any company phone you'll use. But the phone is the same. work of the phone and the functionality will be the same. Only the difference is the brand and the look of the phone and the functionality of the features, whatever they're providing are completely different. But the purpose of the phone and all the things, applications and other things are the same messaging platform, WhatsApp, call, all these are the same, right? Similarly, in the cloud also, AWS and Azure and Google, they have the same services they are providing, but has a different name, right? But has a different name. So if you understand what is this service is doing, you can easily do whatever things in the Azure you are doing. Only things is the functionality that okay. So that's about the cloud and the DevOps things, whatever you are telling about. That do you need to run everything from the scratch? We are going to deliver everything from the scratch to you, right? We are going to deliver everything from the scratch, from the very basic to the advanced level, as I said in the classroom. From the very basic to advanced level. So in that, what you learn, yes, whatever the things we are going to learn is from the starting level, from the basic level, and then we'll try to groom up you in that way that you can easily do the things by yourself. We talk about the pipelines, you talk about the Kubernetes. That means you have some ideas on the DevOps. I believe, yes, all these things we are going to learn. The pipelines, how we get to write CI/CD, right? Using Jenkins tool, using Ansible, Terraform, Kubernetes, all these things we are going to learn. Is it okay?
Yes, got it. Thank you so much.
Yeah, welcome. Any questions, guys?
Myself, Kapil.
Yeah, Karthik. Yeah, hi.
What are the opportunities for freshers, like in DevOps?
Sorry, what you said? What is that?
What are the opportunities for freshers?
Okay, opportunity for the freshers. Yes.
Graduates.
Okay, so you are currently passed out or you are still in college?
In the college.
You are in college. Which year?
In third year.
Third year engineering, BTech Computer Science, right? Okay, fine. Okay, so see, I would frankly tell you, the current market, as I said, all the companies, 99% of the companies are moving towards the cloud, And the future is really bright. The future is really, we are going to work everything in the cloud. Even I use till last 8 to 9 years, everything I have, I've kept in the cloud itself. Because I feel it's very easy and you have to pay very less for that. Why I'm telling all this, you said like, what is the career, what is the opportunity for you in the fresher? That is the opportunity for the freshers. As we are in the market, we are just booming up. We are booming up, right? So that what will happen? You will get lots of things to learn and your career is going to boom definitely. I always instate people, the freshers. See, when I was like you, when I passed out from the college, and nobody was there to guide me where to go and what to follow. And that time also this cloud technologies, DevOps, and those technologies were not there. What was there? C, C++, Java, .NET, all these things were there, right? So we have to choose one platform from that and find it out the market. So I went with Java. I became a developer. So as a developer, I did lots of works. I went to, I have to do the support work after whatever applications product we have developed. We have to give the production support as well, right? So I came to learn lots of other things like DevOps. All these things are good. If you already know what is the cloud, the latest trending technology, the cloud technology, definitely your career, you have huge amount of opportunities for you. Okay, there are huge opportunities, I would say. Yeah, Karthik?
Okay.
So, guys, any other questions? I'll feel to answer everyone. So I understand, like few of you will be experienced and few of you will be freshers. Definitely lots of questions will be coming in your mind because you are going to learn something. You're going to put your efforts. It's money does not matter, but the time matters, right? Whenever you are putting your time, that's the most precious thing. And you should always understand what exactly you are going to learn and what benefit you will get out from this class and what is the benefit you will get from the DevOps and cloud chain, right? I always tell people to, before learning something, just try to get more details about that, right? You can put and ask me answers or whatever things I delivered. I feel like everything is up to date and you capture it, right?
I have one question.
Yeah, please go ahead.
Uh, I have totally 2.5 years experience in technical support.
Mhm.
Is it possible to switch from a technical support engineer to DevOps engineer?
Yes, definitely. And it's actually, that's why in the beginning I told you, right? Development, operation. The DevOps is a collaborations work between development team and operations team. Now you are into operations, right? Now you are into operations team. So what will happen? Something is going disturbance. What will happen here? Uh, as you are into operations or production support team, right? That will be very useful for you. That will be very useful for you, and you'll easily learn those things because you already have some operations knowledge. Definitely, it will be helpful, and definitely, I would tell you should go for this DevOps and all. That is the thing.
Thank you so much. And I have one more doubt.
Mhm.
Most of the recruiters nowadays asking 3+ year experience in DevOps. I'm
Exactly.
applying in LinkedIn continuously with this experience. Most of them are replying me, we need a 3+ year experience, then only we can recruit.
Yeah. Okay. That's the trends actually. See, what I could say, like it depends on the company. It's not that every companies are staying for 3.4 years. I have observed, like in my company where I was working and even working there, we used to get 2 years of experience. Even we used to get freshers. We'll go working with a different account, different department, and we get to our account, train them in these tools, and let them work. Right? Even freshers can working very well. It's not that 3.5 is mandatory or 3 years of experience there. Yes, it depends on the market, what their requirement. So the people are getting like, see, suppose, let me give you one example, you'll understand clearly. If I have a company and I have immediate requirement, like emergency, there's immediate requirement from a client and I have to deliver very quickly, right? So in that case, what I have to do, I don't have to go and get a fresher and do my work because I'll spend lots of time there, right? What I'll do, I'll go to the market and get an experienced guy and to do the work and deliver it very quickly. And if I have a company and I have a very long-term project, what I will do, I'll hire the people, fresher, train them, and make them work in my project. I don't know it's a very long-term project and I have lots of time to deliver this. And obviously, I have to save the time, save the cost for the project. I have to hire the fresher. So it depends. It depends on the company, depends on the work of the company. Okay.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, hi, this side Ravi Chaudhary.
Yeah, hi, Ravi.
What is the difference between DevOps and WebOps?
So DevOps and
WebOps, WEB, WebOps.
Acha, WebOps.
Yes, sir.
Acha, WebOps and DevOps. Okay. So WebOps, I'm actually see. So it's a different kind of things. WebOps, it's actually a trend which is going on. WebOps is a trend is going on ML of AI of anything. Tom, they are getting it and they are adding it to the operations. That means WebOps. See, nowadays, I could say most of them they're having web applications, right? Web applications. They don't have desktop applications. Very rare you'll see desktop applications, but most of the things are web applications, right?
Yeah.
So web applications, and they're putting operations to that. Web operations, web ops, right? And they're putting similarly machine learning ops, ML ops, artificial intelligence ops. Like
Yeah.
everything, whatever you're going to learn, there will be operations team will be there. That is nothing but your production support, operations team, right? Everything. That's why don't get confused on that. Just try to correlate the things. Everything is related to DevOps. That's all at the branch of the DevOps, you could say, right?
Yeah, yeah, got it. Thank you.
Okay. Any other questions, guys? We have 4 more minutes, 5 more minutes. So
Nowadays, most of the recruiters are asking scenario-based question. Where can we learn scenario-based questions without having the experience?
those things actually comes based on your experience level. Based on your experience level, it will come. So scenario based, like I cannot say like if you have never ride a car, right? If I tell you what is the how to change the gear, right? You may not answer it because you have never experienced it, right? Similarly, in the company, they'll be asking the real-time questions. But in this classroom, I am going to tell you all the real-time experience as a simulator. Like I'll give you a car to put you into that, and I'll tell you how to ride the car and what other things are there. All the real-time discussion should be there, okay, in the class. So don't worry about these things like, yeah, that's a very good question you asked. I think you have studied the market, right? You have studied the market, and you will definitely they're asking because I used to take interviews. For my company, and definitely they ask real-time questions and they ask scenario-based questions. That's a very good point you ask. Scenario-based questions. So don't worry. What are the things we're going to learn? Every time I'll have one topic to cover and then scenario-based questions and some questions. Every time we have to discuss, and you don't have to tell me, it will automatically come from my mind. Because I take people by asking only scenario-based. I don't ask anything. Scenario-based. I will just guide them. Do you know this and how you have to achieve that? If the person, think about that's why I always tell the DevOps is a mindset, right? If you are strong in the mind and if you stand the logics, right, and you can implement it, nobody can stop you. The code in the internet, right? You'll get thousands of, even billions of copies, millions of documents, right? Videos, audios, documents, everything. That will be no use if you don't do practice and if you don't do it in your real time, right? So don't worry about this at all. Once you start learning, everything it will be in your path and you'll just move forward. Okay, that's all, guys. And nice talking with you. It was wonderful sessions with you guys, and hope we will see you soon from the past. Okay, thank you, guys. See you. Bye.